Rory McIlroy British Masters performance could be a turning point after a poor season. He is back up to no-6 from no-8 today on the back of his runner-up finish behind Paul Dunne at Close House, but, just as importantly for a player who thrives on energy out on the course, he is feeling a buzz from golf again. Close House may not be the most exacting course he has ever played, but weekend rounds of 64 and 63 take some shooting anywhere. He will close the curtains on a disappointing season in Scotland at the Dunhill Links Championship this week with a pep in his step once more. "It's nice to get a few world ranking points before I take a few weeks off," said McIlroy. "I played well over the weekend and I felt like I feel like I played better once I got into contention, which is always good to see. I felt like it focused me a little bit. I got into my routine, I did what I had to do, hit good shots and held some good putts. I played well under pressure. It wasn't quite good enough, but I couldn't be any happier with how I played. It gives me a nice bit of confidence heading into next week." It was clear from McIlroy's body language as Dunne chipped in at the last to clinch the win that the 28-year-old viewed his 4 days in the Northeast as a victory rather than a defeat. After a season of struggle, restricted by a nagging rib injury, the feeling of being back in the fight proved to be invigorating. "I definitely felt the support from the crowd coming down the back nine and making those few birdies," he said. "It was nice to have a big following rather than 50 people watching me on a weekend." McIlroy only entered the event at the last minute, having failed to qualify for the Tour Championship in the United States, but his visit to Close House could turn out to be a significant turning point. It will send him into the winter break he has scheduled convinced that his game is back on the right track. His hope is that by missing the run into the race to Dubai he will start 2018 fully fit and firing. It will be a big season for him with the Ryder Cup in Paris at the end of it. "The US have shown what they can doing over at the President's Cup," he said. "We're hopefully going to have a great team in a year's time to go up against them in France." A win like that for Paul does his chances of making that team a world of good, and it will be great to have some young guys on that team. McIlroy has one more date before putting the clubs away at this week's team event north of the border, which takes in Carnoustie, Kingsbarns, and St Andrews. He will have his father Jerry as his partner. "I'm excited to play with my dad and have a good time up at St Andrews. He told me it was good to see my back in form before we team up.